Hmm?
Signature. Yes, sir.
What to do?
Yes, sir. On the delivery issue. ಮುಂದೆ signature ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ? What to put in the
Hmm. Okay, so let us start our work again. So we are going to go and then we are going to do Henry's law. So I can just show you these slides one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16. So I said Yeah, 240 we will start, I said, and we have crossed way beyond 240. So let us quickly start without wasting much time. Please so slowly. Why are you taking snap? Why can't you write when it is being done? Yeah, now screen is there. To get recorded video, you have to call. To get recorded video, you have to call 98948 99776. Please call them till your job is done. That is the only way things work in India. So keep calling them till your job is done. Every half an hour, call them. So out of frustration, they will do your work. Okay. So I was telling you that the solubility of a gas is directly proportional, proportional, proportional to the pressure of the gas above it. That means if you take a liquid here and if you take a gas here, the solubility of this gas is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas. Now, because the solubility here may be given in parts per million or may be given in mole fraction, both are okay. So if solubility is given in mole fraction, then the partial pressure of the gas is directly proportional to its solubility. The partial pressure is equal to a constant which is called the Henry's constant into its mole fraction. Okay, so this is what is Henry's law. Henry was there at the time of Dalton, John Dalton. Dalton also said the same thing, but we give credit to Henry and we are not giving credit to Dalton. Okay, in other words, we can write this, that the mole fraction of a gas in a solution is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas outside. The mole fraction of a gas in a solution is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas outside. So the partial pressure of this gas is directly proportional to the mole fraction. That constant here is called the Henry's constant. Okay. Now we are saying the partial pressure is equal to Kh into solubility. So if Kh is high, what can you say about solubility? That will be low, and vice versa. Okay, so mole fraction has no units, so the unit of Kh is same as the unit of pressure. So for helium, KH is 144.97 kilobar. For H2, it is 69.16. For O2, it is 34.86. For N2, it is 88.84. For CO2, it is 1.67. So now what do you understand? You understand that CO2 is more soluble than all these gases. So higher the KH value, lesser the solubility. Formaldehyde, HCHO. HCHO has a KH value 1.83 into 10 power minus 5. Can somebody give a reason for that? KH is called Henry's constant. Then, yeah, as temperature increases, solubility decreases. So as temperature increases, solubility decreases. So KH value increases. As solubility decreases, KH value increases. So as temperature increases, KH value increases. No, Dalton's law, yes. So it is more related with hydrogen bonding. This is polar covalent. Water is also polar covalent. Because of identical types of bonding, HCHO is highly soluble. Okay, so 1 KH values are inversely proportional to solubility. Okay, so this is one. Second one, at higher temperatures, solubility decreases. So solubility decreases. So KH value increases. Then formaldehyde is highly soluble because of hydrogen bonding. Polar nature with covalent bonding. That is height of like dissolves like. That is height of like dissolves like. Okay, so okay, I will wait. No problem. So that's the only problem with these continuous classes is there is no power in the system. Anyway, good for you. The moment power is off, we are all off. Yes, if this is done, we have 2-3 questions that we will work. Okay, first one. Partial pressure of N2 is equal to 0.987 bar. Okay, Henry's law constant Kh for nitrogen is 76.48 kilobar. So I am asking you, what is the solubility of N2 in mole fraction? I want you to tell me what is the solubility. What is the solubility? So systematically try to work it out, it will come. So I can say that partial pressure, so 0.987 is equal to Kh into mole fraction. So I can say mole fraction is equal to 0.987 divided by 76.48 into 10 power 3. So if I work this out, I'll make it 0.76, so 10 power minus 5. So it will become 0.987 divided by 0.765 into 10 power minus 5. So this will, if I calculate this, this will be something like 1.29 into 10 power minus 5. So this is the mole fraction of nitrogen. Yeah, so now I may want to give the answer in millimoles, I may want to give the answer in grams or anything. So mole fraction is equal to moles of nitrogen divided by 1 liter of water. In 1 liter of water, 1 liter of water is 55.5 moles plus moles of nitrogen. Moles of nitrogen will be very less, so I'll assume it is 0. So moles of nitrogen in 1 liter of water, moles of nitrogen in 1 liter of water will be 1.29 into 10 power minus 5 into 55. Yeah, so if you work this out, it will be something like 55. No, so this will be something like 70 approximately. So into 10 power minus 5. So that I can say is equal to 77.1 into 10 power minus 4, or 0.71 into 10 power minus 3. So minus 3 means milli. So 0.71 millimoles per liter. So this is the solubility of nitrogen. If I multiply it by, I can now find out parts per million also, I can find out. So parts per million means I have to take it to 10 power minus 6, so it will become 710. So 710 parts per million. Okay, so is this understood? Do you get it? Sir, what is 55.5? Oh, that is 55.5. What is 55.5? So 1 minute. Mole fraction. Okay. Mole fraction is what? Is equal to moles of N2 divided by moles of H2O plus moles of N2. Yeah, so this is what it is. So if this is what it is, then what is the moles of H2? I'm talking about moles of H2 in 1 liter of water. So 1 liter of water has a density 1. So 1 liter of water will be 1000 grams. So if 1 liter of water is 1000 grams, then 1000 grams is how many moles? 1000 divided by 18. So 1000 divided by 18 is 55.5. So in water, so whenever you're finding out mole fraction, if you have 1000 grams of water, it is equal to 55.5. There was a question once which came in a JEE mains. The question was very simple, straightforward. What is the molarity of pure water? What is the molarity of pure water? So that was the question. So in water, you have 1000 grams of water in 1 liter of water. Molarity is number of moles per liter. So in 1 liter of water, you have 1000 grams. So 1000 by 18 is 55.5. So it is equal to 55.5 molar. So 1 liter of water is 55.5 molar. Yeah. Okay. So that is how the 55.5 comes. Yeah, we found out. No, this is not a physics period. We are going to continue. Tomorrow we'll do more of physics. So moles of nitrogen in 1 liter of water. So we found out moles of nitrogen in 1 liter of water. So we found out the mole fraction. The mole fraction is equal to this much. 1.29 into 10 power minus 5. Mole fraction is that much, means mole fraction is equal to moles of nitrogen divided by 55.5 plus moles of nitrogen. So moles of nitrogen is very small. So mole fraction into 55 will give you the number of moles of nitrogen in 1 liter of water. So we found out here. Okay, so if that is understood, then we have one more question here. H2S is a toxic gas. Whatever. Question is, if the solubility of H2S in water at STP is 0.195 molar, calculate its KH, that is the Henry's law constant. It is given to you that the solubility of H2S in water at STP is 0.195 molar. Calculate the KH value is the question. Okay. So now how do I go ahead with it? So the way we go ahead with it is first understand what does it mean? It means 0.195 moles of H2S in 1 liter of solution, 1 liter of water, because this is a gas. And yeah, so now so this is what it is. Yeah, Now, if I want to calculate what is the mole fraction, so mole fraction is equal to moles of NH2S divided by NH2O plus NH2S. What is N? Number of moles. So the number of moles is 0.195 divided by NH2O, we have seen 55.5 plus NH2S, we have seen 0.195. So this is equal to approximately 0.2 divided by 55.7. So I need to calculate this. So once I calculate that, then things will become a little easy. So I am using my calculator, and from my calculator, I will be using it. So if I'm using my calculator, 0.2 divided by 55, sorry, 0.2 divided by 55.7. So that I calculated, and it works out to be 0.0036. Okay, 0.0036. So what is the 0.0036? So that is the mole fraction of H2S. Now from Henry's law constant, you know, partial pressure is equal to Kh into mole fraction, right? Now, partial pressure, it is given to you what? It is STP. So, standard temperature and pressure. So, if you take standard temperature and pressure, it is 1 atmospheric pressure. So, 1 atmospheric pressure is approximately 10.6 bar. So, 10.6 bar is equal to Kh into mole fraction. How much is mole fraction? 3.6 into 10 power minus 3. Yeah. So, now based on this, you can calculate the value for Kh. Kh will become 10 power 9 into 1 by 3.6. So you can calculate it. You please calculate it. Don't copy from whatever I have done. So from there you can get the value for the Henry's law constant. Henry's law constant for H2S. Okay. So yeah, work it out. Don't copy from there. Assume there's an error in it and then try to work it out. So, sir, is it molarity, molality, or molarity? Molarity, in the question it is molarity. Sir, is X in the equation, it's mole fraction or solubility? Mole fraction. Have you found out solubility? It is given to you. Solubility at STP is 0.195 molar. That is given to you. Yeah. Molarity is given to you. Okay. Yes, 1 atmosphere is 1.013 bar. Right. I've just taken it as approximately as 1. It should be 10 per. Okay, don't worry about this number. That number they will tell you in the exam. It is 10 power 5, not 10 power 6. This is 10 power 5, so it will be 10 power 8. 1 atmosphere is 10 power 5 bar. That is 100 kilobar. So that is 100, yeah. So 100 divided by that much. So yeah. Yes, 10 power 5 pascals. You have connected your charger, but charge is getting reduced. Yeah. Be happy. The class will be over faster. Sometimes I wish it just gets discharged the moment you connect, you start the class. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. I should have actually charged it in between. Just joking, don't worry. So I should have charged it in between, but I mean, I forgot I should have put it from the beginning. Oh, battery saver எங்க இருக்கும்? Don't worry, we are already at 3:12 now. So don't worry. You please move. Tomorrow I'll check where is the battery, this thing. I have one more question that you have to work out. After that, I can just keep talking and then the class will be over. Yeah, one more question we have. So if you guys understand that, I will move on. Okay, next is this. The Henry's law constant Kh for CO2 is 1.67 into 10 power 8 pascals at 298 Kelvin. Determine the amount of CO2 in 500 ml of soda packed under 2.5 atmosphere of CO2 at 298 Kelvin. The Kh value for CO2 is 1.67 into 10 power 8 pascals at 298 Kelvin. Determine the amount of CO2 in 500 ml of soda packed under 2.5 atmosphere of CO2 at 298 Kelvin. Okay, so again, the way we go ahead with it is this, that they are asking you to find out the amount of CO2. So I have partial pressure of O2 is equal to Kh into mole fraction, right? Now, partial pressure is how much? 2.5 atmospheres. So 2.5 atmosphere of CO2. So the pressure above the liquid is 2.5 atmosphere. So I can say it is 2.5 into 10 power 5 bar. Okay. So this is equal to 1.67 into 10 power 8 pascals into mole fraction into moles of CO2 divided by see, it is 500 ml of soda. Now we wanted for 1 liter it is 55.5. So for 500 ml it will become what? It will become 27.775 odd. So divided by 27.7. So the mole fraction, so the moles of CO2 is equal to 27.7 into 2.5 into 10 power 5 divided by 1.67 into 10 power 8. Okay, so it is so many moles. So now solubility, they may ask us in moles, yeah, so many moles per 500 ml. So I can find out what it is. So if I have to find out what it is, which one to do? 16. See, this one into 1.5 will be approximately 2.5. 1.67 into 15. 17 into 5 is 105. So 5 carry 10, 90, 0 carry 2. 90, 0 carry 9, 15 ones 15, 25. So it is, yeah, approximately 1.5. Okay, so I divided it by 1.5. So now if I multiply these two, I will get 27. Half of 27 is like 13. So this will be close to 41. So I'll get 41 into 10 power minus 3. So that will become 0.041 moles. So 0.041 moles of carbon dioxide are dissolved in the given amount of, are dissolved in the given 500 ml of soda. Hope you are able to understand this. It is all about calculations. Soda means water only. Yes. So why haven't you included more? Because that is a very small number. So I don't want to complicate my calculations. In a board exam, I will see and I will do, depend on the time. Right now, I'm little less, I don't seem to be having enough patience. So I'm trying to do them fast. So in an entrance exam, this will work. Yes, in denominator also we have to write, but that is very small, no? So that number won't affect my answer. That number won't affect my answer. It is 0.041, right? So in the denominator, you do 27 plus 0.041. It won't affect your answer at all. It's a very small number. These kind of questions will come only in your board exams. In your entrance exams, difficult numbers won't be there. They'll be very easy numbers. But in our entrance exam, when we wrote, it was not like that. So that is why I'm little fast in calculations. For us, calculations was very important. 1 full month in chemistry, we were only taught calculations. They didn't teach us any chemistry. Yes, when you're working with mole fraction, number of moles of CO2 should come in the denominator, but because it's a very small number, you keep ignoring it and move on. And these kind of ideas will come only when you do a lot of practice. Okay, how did you get half of? In 1 liter, it is 55.5. So for 500 ml, it will be by 2. So 55.5 by 2 will approximately give me that much. So I hope you are able to understand why I haven't included moles of CO2, because they are very, very small. Yes, so Bhiksha, in denominator also we have to write CO2, but it is very, very small. So I am ignoring it. Yes, Abhishek, what you're saying is correct. Yeah, so I message, put it in doubt box. I am answering your question. Yesterday I sat down, but didn't have patience. Today, hopefully I'll have patience. But don't ask relativity questions. They are out of syllabus. Plus, we have not learned it. So if we learn it, we can answer, we can talk about it. But we have not learned anything about it. Okay. So if you are clear, I wrote JEE in 1993. You guys were not born by that time. Okay. So if this is clear, then let's move on. Yeah, so I said there are many factors which affect the solubility of a gas. One of the factors that we discussed which affects the solubility is pressure. And after discussing pressure, we spoke of Henry's law. And then we learned about Henry's constant. Okay, and Henry's constant. So all that Henry's law says is that partial pressure is equal to Henry's constant into the mole fraction. So this is the mole fraction. And this is the partial pressure of a gas. Okay, now the second factor which affects the solubility of a gas is the temperature. Okay, as temperature increases, you would have seen that when you're heating water, as you increase the temperature, you see bubbles going up. Those bubbles are nothing but bubbles of air. So as temperature increases, solubility decreases. Now there are multiple reasons for this. One line of thought is this, that when a gas dissolves in a liquid, it basically is now almost in the liquid state. Okay, so it's in the liquid state. So basically it is an exothermic, it has condensed. So it has moved from gaseous state to liquid state. Yeah, now here on this left side you have gas, on the right side you have solution. So now plus heat. So now if you increase temperature, what does Le Chatelier's principle say? Le Chatelier's principle say that the equilibrium will shift in a direction where there will be a reduction of temperature. So if it goes in the forward direction, more heat will be released, which cannot happen. So it goes in the reverse direction. So it goes in the reverse direction means the gas just escapes. Yeah. Le Chatelier's principle states that if a system in equilibrium is disturbed, the equilibrium is dynamic, it moves so as to nullify the change. So in this case, what is the change that I am bringing? The change that I am bringing is increasing temperature. So it will move in that direction where there is a decrease in temperature. So it will go towards this direction, that is the endothermic side. Okay, it will go in this direction, which is the endothermic side. Okay, so the solubility of a gas decreases with temperature. So as temperature increases, solubility decreases. Nilan, remind me what is your question? Yesterday I answered a few questions. But like I said, a lot of people keep sending it, so we are able to see only 50 of them. We are still rectifying that logic. So yeah, okay. So this is so much so about, if you understand this, this is all that we need to know about solubility of a gas in a liquid. There are a few applications that you need to know. One application, why do we have high pressure of CO2 above the soda? So what is the answer for it? According to Henry's law, solubility is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas above the liquid. So to make more carbon dioxide dissolved in water, we have to have a higher pressure for the carbon dioxide above the soda. So this is the answer for it. The second one is in the case of scuba divers. So scuba divers, basically they take tanks of oxygen and then they go underwater. Now, when they go underwater, what happens? Because when you are underwater, pressure increases. Now, because pressure increases, what happens is the solubility of air in the blood increases. Yeah, the solubility of air in the I mean, it is not because of the pressure of water in the gas tank that you have air at high pressure. So when you're breathing from air at high pressure, the pressure is high. So solubility of that air in blood is high. So the air content in the blood is high underwater. Okay. Now, when you come to the surface, you are now breathing in the air. So when you are breathing in the air, now what will happen? Suddenly the pressure has come down. So if the pressure has come down, solubility will come down. So in your joints and in different parts of the body, that those air bubbles come up. Okay, and these air bubbles, they will block your capillaries and then they'll create problems. So this is what is known as bends. Okay. Yeah, so to overcome this, what they do is they ensure that the pressure is low, and for that what they do, partial pressure is low. So for that they introduce other gases. So when they want to have it as high pressure, they have helium and other gases so that it is not dangerous for you. I am not writing anything. See, we are talking only of solubility of a gas in a liquid. Now, coffee powder is not a gas. So you can't talk about the solubility of coffee powder in hot milk. So that is, we will talk about it later. Solubility of a solid in liquid, we will talk later. Right now, we are only talking about solubility of a gas in water. That's why I keep writing all the time at the top. I keep writing solubility of a gas in water. I am not writing anything. I am only talking now. Okay, so I am talking about two things, applications. You will ask what are the applications of this. So there are two applications. One is, why do we have carbon dioxide, high pressure carbon dioxide above the soda, so that the solubility of carbon dioxide increases. That is one. The second thing that where we use this is in scuba diving. Excuse me. In scuba diving, this concept is used quite a bit, because what happens in scuba diving is that you take a cylinder of air with you. That cylinder of air usually has air at high pressure. So when you start breathing the air at high pressure, the blood takes in more of air. So when the blood takes in more of air, the solubility of air goes up. Now, once you come to the surface, when you come to the surface and you start breathing normally immediately, if you do that, then what happens is the solubility now decreases. When the solubility decreases, the air which is dissolved in various parts of the body starts coming to the gaseous state, and it will start blocking the capillaries. And this gives rise to a very dangerous situation, which is called as bends, BENDS. Okay. Now, what do they do to avoid this? They make sure that the partial pressure is low by adding some other gas, inert gas like helium. Yeah, okay. So I am done with solubility of a gas in a liquid. Next class, I'll take up the solubility of a liquid in a liquid. Last, we will do solubility of solids in a liquid. Okay. So I will show you the slides one by one, and we are done for today. Oh, where did this go? Yeah. So this is the first slide. This is the second slide. This is the third slide. Okay, I was told to do it slowly, so I'll wait for 10 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Is this also too fast? Oh, me. I used a book called Chemistry. I used O.P. Agarwal. For organic chemistry, I used Morrison and Boyd. Maths, I did from M.L. Khanna. I worked out full M.L. Khanna. I would have worked it out 2 times. full OP Agarwal, I would have worked it 2-3 times. I have read Morrison and Boyd. I have read at least 2.5 to 3 times. I have read Morrison and Boyd. Then physics, I have strictly gone by Resnick and Halliday. Oh, I think I'm showing you slides from the beginning. Oh my God. This will go forever. Slide 16. Slide 18. Slide 19. Slide 20. Slide 21. Slide 22. Twenty-three. 24. 25. 26. 27. Okay, so see you guys tomorrow. With the use of which books do you teach? Right now, I am not doing anything. I am only reading your NCERT textbook. I am reading. That's it. Now that you guys told me to do HC Verma, I have never done HC Verma, so I'll do HC Verma. You study these topics each year? No. I don't have patience. Now I'm too old for all that. So now I don't do. Only for. Yeah. Okay. Bye.